Aloha, Richard Halverson here, and this is ITS388, and so I'm just going to go over uh, 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 more on the syllabus, and I've finished designing our final project, and so I'd like to go over that. So let me share my screen here. 3. And okay, so here's the syllabus, and uh, this is a course about Python programming, and I'd like by the end of the semester, I'd like you to be an expert in Python programming and really feel as though it is. You can call it a first language, okay, or equivalent of a first language. Uh, my first languages have um, have evolved over the years. I've been programming since the 70s or so. And there's been new languages invented, and so on. And I feel pretty comfortable with Python, especially after setting up this final project. So, as you know, we're starting with this ITS388, this Zybooks, and Zybooks is nice. It's a new way of teaching, really. And there are these chapters. Everything is online, and I'm also using this book in my 128 class. We're going through it a much slower, and we're actually going through all the pages. For you folks, I don't think you need to spend a lot of time going through all these exercises, because presumably you either know Python already, uh, or or you or you already are familiar. You're very familiar with the programming language already. So a lot of this focuses on the concept of programming, the concept of variables, um, and then uh, expressions and branching and looping and so on. And so for that sort of thing, it's just necessary for you to learn the syntax of Python. So that's why I did not really require any. Um, I didn't assign any of the reading, really. I just assigned these lab um, questions, these lab assignments at the end of each chapter, and we are going through them kind of quickly. But if you're if you're a good programmer, presumably you only need to refer back to the text of the textbook to perhaps get something straight, and then you should be able to finish up the assignments. So I have included everything, the whole textbook, so you can take a look at the whole textbook if you want to. So we're going to go through each of these chapters, and I've assigned the last these labs here at the end. The first one is very simple, hello world, of course, and you type in your code, and you're able to see the result of your code being typed in develop mode. And then when you think you've got it done, you do submit mode, and then you're able to you're able to do this as many times as you need to be able to get all the points. And I'll talk more about what actually is captured. You'll notice when you run your program, uh, there's some more information here. For example, let's do this one. Print hello world. And we can do this in development mode, and we see what the result is. And then we can actually, what happens if I change it? Development mode, run it. It looks like this. Okay, so I ran it twice, and then let me try to submit this right now, and you can see what happens. Submit for grading. and I did not get all the points. Why? Because it tells me it's because it expected something that it didn't see. And so there's sort of a signature here that says I started on September 3rd and I ran it a couple of times and then I submitted it, didn't get any points, and then now I'm going to fix it and uh, fix it and submit it. And this time I get all the points, and so this says I submitted again and then I got all the points. Now this is this sort of profile I can look at when the program started getting more difficult, and I can sort of see, how you go about writing and debugging your programs, and I may be able to comment on that. I like to run my programs lots, so I run it a whole bunch of times, uh, and I see the program. I add a little bit, run it, add a little bit, run it, and I build up the program that way. And that way, if ever I run it and I get some unexpected result, I know it's just the last thing I added, which was presumably just a small part. And that, by breaking it down into small pieces like that, uh, it it makes it easier to write code. Okay, so that's the approach of this textbook. And so I just noticed today some of the things that I get here. If I look at the reporting, I'm not going to show anybody's, uh, but I see that, you know, I see that 8 people have signed up. That's good. That's somebody on the class. And it's like I think you might have all finished the first chapter already, which is great. And you're working on the second one. If someone here has taken off and done a bunch of them, maybe they're done already. I don't know. But anyway, I thought this would be a good time to introduce us to our to what I'd like to have you do for the final. Okay, so as you're writing or as you're so here's I'll describe the final project, and then I'll sort of tell you what my philosophy is on how we're going to write this code. And I wanted to introduce it now because I want to give you an idea of what we're trying to accomplish. And then as we go through the chapters, you'll see, there'll be some context, and you'll be able to see how to do certain things in this assignment in in Python. And it turns out that this is a pretty easy assignment to do in Python. It would be more difficult to do in PHP and it's because of some of the string handling features of Python that we don't really have in other languages. But okay, so here it is. It's this mining the UH class availability website, and I'm talking about this website right here. Okay, it's this is website, and all the community colleges are here, and you may recognize it from this, the class availability. I don't know if you look at class availability here. I know there's other ways for students to do that, but instructors use this because one thing we can do when we do this is we can go drill down and we can see what the enrollment is. It's an easy way to see what the current enrollment is for all your classes, and and this is our class right here, and so this, and it's the same format for all the you know semesters back, the terms, and also the different colleges have the same, more or less the same format. So it's the same system. So this is Manoa and ICS, and you see they teach a bunch of ICS 101s. There's happens to be 4 credits. Ours are only 3, but it's the same. You get credit for anywhere in the UH system. If you have to take ICS 101, you can take it anywhere. It's offered on all the campuses. It's offered on Leeward, ICS 101. So what I would like you to do is to write a Python program with a set of functions that crawls through the UH class availability website. Let me make this a little bigger. From that page, you can click down through the links of the different UH colleges, terms, subjects, and finally, classes, sections. This should be sections. Your program will visit and parse the source text of the pages, collecting information to complete the query. And so um, now, so I'm asking you to for this kind of system, it's all going to be Python code. So you're going to write a little Python code to do these queries. And the idea is that you'll have a bunch of functions that you've defined that you will use to be able to accomplish or to execute these queries. Now here's an example of a query that I thought of. List the courses of a particular instructor and how many students total that instructor has. So, for example, take Boris. Okay, uh, Boris teaches in our department. Boris teaches at a lot of campuses. So, so this is an example output for that I've drummed up. I've written this. This is as far as I've gotten with the project. But find the courses that have this email address for the instructor is basically this query. That's how this query works. And it returns 5 courses. And you see the first 3 are taught at Kapiolani. It's ITS 144, ITS 388PM, ICS 101. And then Boris also teaches an operating systems class over at West Oahu, and ICS 240, and he also teaches ICS 100 at Leeward. Okay, so this is interesting. And Boris has 80 students. Okay. Other examples are list the sections of a particular course in the UH system and the overall UH system-wide enrollment. For example, it may be interesting to see all the sections of ICS 101 that are taught all over on all these campuses, and what's the overall system-wide enrollment. What is the enrollment of a particular campus for ICS 101? So who teaches more ICS 101 students? Which campus teaches the most ICS 101 students, for example? List the sections and overall student enrollment of a particular department over the last year. So, some departments have lots of students, some departments have less, some departments have increasing enrollments, and some departments have decreasing enrollments, and so on. It'd be interesting to kind of see that. List the instructors with the email addresses of a particular class. Okay, so let's say we wanted to email all the ICS 101 instructors. Okay, it'd be nice to be. That'd be an interesting query. So anyway, these are queries. These are example queries, and I'd like you just to write code that can uh, um, execute like most of these, and maybe come up with some yourself. Now, this is only the second week of the class, and I plan on evolving this assignment a little bit, depending on how much progress you make. But I haven't touched on interfaces yet. Right now, it's just command line interface type stuff. But right now, it's not too early for us to actually start writing code for some of these functions. And so here's how I did it. And I think it's when I first started, I said, well, I know we can do this. I know how I would do it in another language, but let's do a project like this of this size in Python. And when I'm all done, I'm going to feel pretty strong in my Python, more than just an ability to teach it, but an ability to sit down and jam out some code without having to always go back and refer to the syntax and the modules I'm using and so on. All right, so so I broke it down into I started by breaking it down into like these 5 little programs here. And so first of all, you have to write code to actually go out and grab the web page and to save it into a huge string. And then after that, you parse the string. You parse the string looking for characters, for sequences of characters and what follows which, and you narrow down and you strip out text, and you store that text that you strip out in an organized way, and then you collect it up and print it and return it. So so I started by writing short programs that parse each type of page. Okay, so if we look at the pages, there's this page, we have to parse this page, and if we view the source of this page, we see that it's not until we get down to like about here is the important stuff. Okay, this is where we list these classes. This is the link to Hawaii, Honolulu, Kapiolani, Kauai, Leeward, Maui, and Windward, and so on. So that's these right here. Okay, so we want to grab out this information, the title and the URL, and for all of these. Okay, so start by writing a program that parses this page. Okay, and so I give you an example here. And here I run my program, my PY, Python colleges. I named it colleges, colleges.py. The first thing it does is it displays out the URL that I'm going after, gives me the result code, and then it lists out the ones that I found. I can show you that. PY, here I'll show you. This is my PY is Python 3.7.5. It's Python 3, and my Python is version 2. So I use PY. So PY colleges.py, and it displays this out. Now, this actually, you notice there's 11 here. And that's because you'll notice that the Manoa one displays out twice. And that's because Outreach College is the same as Manoa. This is Manoa, and this is Outreach College. They're the same. Okay, so this might mess me up. So really, I want to be smart enough where I only end up with the list of 1. And that's actually what I have here. See, the Outreach College is not listed here. But anyway, so this displays out for the first one. And then we would like a program, which I'm going to call terms. These are the terms, these active upcoming terms, that displays out these terms. Okay, so in my thing here, I've got a program called terms right here, and it goes to this page, and we see that's actually this page here. It goes to this page, and it displays out the terms. And so I'm actually going to use this program for all the colleges, but just to get the code running and get it, I'm just hard coded it in this one, and I'm testing it for this one. And then from here, I need to be able to click for Kapiolani. For fall 2020, I have to be able to click here to list out all the subjects. Okay, so that would be this here, where we're listing the subjects, and it's got 78 of them. Okay, and so this lists them all like this, and so this is what's displayed out, and we're talking about if you view the source, I'm talking about all of these subjects right here, starting from here all the way down 2 columns down to theater. Okay, so it's grabbing out all this stuff here and this here and listing it out. See, it's got the link to the actual subject that lists all the classes, and then it lists the name of the subject here. And so we're talking about this, and we can click on ITS over here, Information Technology, our department, and we go here, and we end up seeing a list of all the courses in our department. So anyway, that would look something like this. I wonder what's going on with my connection. Am I still recording? Yes. So anyway, that ends up looking like this, where we see, you can picture what the page looks like. It lists all the courses, the CRN, this is CRN number right here, name of the course, the instructor, this is the number of credits right here, this 3. This is the enrollment, and this is the number of spots that are left in the class. So here's ours, last one here is ours, and there's 8 enrolled and 12 spots left. And so here are my other classes and so on. So it's this page here. So we are actually, that's what gets parsed out of this here. And these are, each one of these chunks here looks like is a course. Each one of these is a course. Okay, so your code has to parse this. And then finally, the last one is when you click down on one of these things, you click down, here you get information on the course. Now, really what's new here is you might be interested in the meeting times and the instructional method. Here it's blank. Let's look at like this one, same blank. Let's look at one of Hal's courses up here. Distance completely online. And the other thing is Hal's email address. Now I have to click on this, but when you parse this, you get someplace around here, you get Hal's email address, which is right here. And some of the email addresses are kind of hard to find. Like for example, there's somebody that's teaching ICS 101 right here. This is Boris's wife, actually, Christine. And when you click on here, this is the only place where you can find Christine's email address. It's not anywhere else. So anyway, that's pretty cool. So you might want to be able to list the email addresses for everybody in ICS or whatever. So anyway, that's the last page you parse is this the last page I just showed you. And so here's one for Hal's course. It goes by the CRN. It's got Kapiolani. This is the term. This is the term for fall 2020. It's 2021-10. And then this CRN is the right here, 31356. And this is the information that comes back. And here we see we've parsed out the email address, Hal's name, and Hal's email address. All right, so so I've actually created these things, and I can show you. This is my college's. This is all I'm going to show you. Now I'm not going to show you any more code. Okay, you have to write all your code from here. But I will show you this code because it's pretty straightforward. It's exactly the same code that produced this. Okay, it does not have the check in there, so it does print out this this URL twice. It's going to count Manoa twice. But really, this code is very simple. It's not even, it's 36 lines. Okay. And so first of all, we have to import this module here to do the HTTP thing. I set the URL as this. I print out the URL. I do the connection. I print out the result code. That's this 200 here, 200. And then I these are some strings that I'm looking for to be able to grab out the information that I'm looking for. And we're going to learn more about this when we talk about strings in this class. But but if you look at here, this is it. This is the class availability one. And so we want to look for, let me put this up here, this li title. This is the pre-string. That's this right here. Let me put this so I can show both of them. So I'm looking for this code, and that's this code here. I'm looking for this code. Okay, so that's just before Hawaii Community College. And then I'm looking for this code, and that's this code here, see? And that's in the middle. And then after that, up to this, which is this. This is the URL. So this here is the URL, and I want to splice that out. And this is the name of the college, and I want to splice that out. So that's what this does here. This finds the first occurrence of this pre-string. This is page source. This is the big old string that's the whole page. This whole thing here is contained in this string right here. And so I'm looking for this, and then I keep on looking for that, this, all the way down until I can't find it anymore. That's this loop here. And so this finds me the first one. This finds me the first occurrence of this. And then here I keep on looping, looking for this pre-string. And the way this find function works is this is find pre-string starting here. And so each time I do a find, I save it and I start to the next place, you see. So then I save this one and I start at the next place. And so here, this gives me basically, let's see this. So this here is going to be this point right there, and this here is going to be this point right here, and this here is going to be this point right here. Oops, I didn't do that. And this here is going to be the end of that, and so then the college name is going to be, and this is a really nice Python string capability function here. Is this is the beginning and this is the end. So from the college name start to the college name end, splice that out and save it here. So this thing here gets saved into here. The URL gets saved into here. This grabs out the last 3 characters of the URL. And fortunately, all of the college codes, if you notice here, HAWHONKAP, it's all 3 characters. Even West Oahu, which is usually UHWO, it's WOA in here. So it's nice. So we just grab the last 3 characters of the URL and we get the college code. And then we print out, see, I keep incrementing here, so I keep track of how many there are, the college code and the college name and the college URL. And that's why when we run it, it looks like this. This is the college, this is the index, college code, college name, and college URL. See? And so that's how we grab out, that's how we parse this page, and we're able to grab out the information that we want. It's all about string manipulation. And so this should get you started on our final project. So get these programs running. I can show you. Let me real quickly show you what my current code looks like for this example right here, where I run this program, instructor courses, and this is hard coded in there, and it displays this out. It is it's this code here. And so, this is just Python, and I do this manually. I look for uh, I look for you know I look at Kapiolani, and then I look at Manoa, and I look at West Oahu, then I look at Leeward. But really, this was just to get this running. But really, what your code will do in a lot of cases is to actually click through all of these because you're looking for something, and you don't know what it is. So I will leave it there, and I will catch you next time. If you have any questions, just email me, and I will. My next video will be more of an elaboration on what our final project is and how the chapters as we go along relate to that. Thanks for watching.